So for this camp, in any given day, Ryan wakes up and he runs like Forrest Gump. And he doesn't have to, but he does.
How you feel?
Amazing.
He said 7 punches not gonna do it. I said, if you didn't put in the contract that I can't throw more than 7 punches, then I'd throw more than that.
Because Ryan is an elite fighter, he's a knockout artist, among the best fighters in the world today. They want to take every step to try to control the amount of strength he's going to have the next day.
The day you're sparring Ryan, just 2 days, right?
Yeah. Just like one day he like forgot his tampon, he just started bleeding all over the place. So yeah. 52 years, bro. And it's in the hood, bro. It hasn't closed down yet. You know why? Because this place is good.
Way more explained. Ryan's fast as shit. Ain't nobody gonna say Ryan's not one of the fastest fighters. And I look way faster at 47, way more explosive, way more durable.
Ryan Garcia is grinding hard in training camp. Rolly Romero working alongside him. The two are helping raise his concentration, quickness, and belief in himself as he gets ready to face Mario Barrios.
Hey, go forward now. Yeah. Ahí, ándale, rico, arriba, abajo y arriba. Arriba, abajo, eso. Adelante y atrás. Échale, hijo, 5 minutes here. A ver, and 1 and 1.
Inside the gym, Ryan is centered on speed and punching strength, polishing his abilities through non-stop daily work.
Tres. Y luego 4 y 5. Las que están haciendo para 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y aquí. Still, bueno, ya. 3, 4, 5. After. 3, 4, 5.
Rolly Romero's presence has added extra fire to the camp. Every day they push the pace, improving timing, power, and mental sharpness with serious commitment. Ryan keeps talking about how important it is to have the right people around him. Being in a positive environment with experienced voices helps him stay driven and locked in on the goal.
Somebody's tired or feeling down that day, we're picking each other up.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We feel so good. We're in this together.
We're like the same person, different hair color.
It's just good to have like-minded people that are ready to take advantage of the opportunities, and we're not gonna let it slip. We're all building our own legacy, and when we get in the ring, you guys are gonna see something special.
Garcia and Romero have shared round before, so there is understanding between them. Now they train side by side, showing respect and helping one another improve day after day.
Like that.
Mario Barrios, meanwhile, remains very sure of himself. He points to his time in the ring and his experience at high levels, believing those factors give him advantages when he meets Ryan Garcia.
The advantages I have coming to this fight is just overall just like everything. You know, my experience, you know, who I've been in the ring with, who I faced. I think, you know, the boxing IQ, I think I have that on my side. You know, heart. I think, yeah.
He does have experience, more experience.
Max Kellerman and Robert Garcia gave straightforward opinions after the Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios fight became official. Instead of arguing about natural ability, they focused on Ryan's training setup. They noticed Garcia is currently working mainly with his father rather than big-name coaches such as Eddie Reynoso, Derek James, or Joe Goosen. Robert Garcia reminded viewers that Ryan's father built his base in the amateurs, so there is real knowledge there. Still, he wondered why Ryan moved from several elite trainers only to return back home. To him, that kind of movement can hint at issues with order and leadership within a camp.
His dad, which I'm not saying the dad is not, you know, the dad brought him through the amateurs, but when he left his dad or went to seek a different trainer, before he came back to that, he went through 3 different trainers.
Wow.
That means all 3 are not good enough to, you know, they're all 3
Here's
are
the question.
in the
Here's
world.
the question. Did Ryan Garcia ever allow those trainers to be the boss?
That's why he's back with his dad, because
I don't
he's
think
the
he did.
boss. That's why.
Yeah.
Look, Joe Goosen, I know Joe Goosen. My brother used to train with him. He's not gonna just let you get away with stuff like that. Derek James shouldn't either. Eddie Reynoso doesn't need. He's made so much money with Canelo that if you want to come to me, it's gonna be under my rules. And if that didn't work, then Ryan's back. So that's I give that big.
Kellerman then brought up discipline. He questioned whether Garcia truly allowed those famous trainers to be in charge, because top coaches come with strict expectations, responsibility, and routine. A fighter cannot wake up and decide to ignore the plan. Robert added that men like Reynoso or James already handle champions and are not going to change their standards for one boxer. If someone cannot follow that guidance, growth becomes harder. Both men felt that this uncertainty might benefit Mario Barrios. Barrios has a reputation for steady camps, physical size, and long ring experience, and sometimes the structure behind the scenes ends up deciding what happens on fight night.
Barrios to even pull that off.
See, that's the thing about boxing, and Big Baby Miller pointed it out, because there's no structure. Like, and hopefully that'll happen with Zuffa Boxing, and I am a part of Zuffa Boxing, full disclosure. You know, the first fight coming up on the 23rd.
Oh, congrats, Max. Congrats,
but you need
So
some
I got
kind
you guys
of.
on that card.
There you go.
Good.
You need some kind of.
Right.
So, well, the undercard has not been announced yet, but yeah, like we could talk about
I didn't say the names, but yeah, two of them.
But we need some kind of structure. In the NFL, the guy has to sit there for the media interview. He shows up on time. Yep. He's got to do it. Yep. And to give you an NFL analogy, think about the Broncos, right? When they had Russell Wilson over there and he had his own office and everything. And it was nothing, it was dysfunctional. Then they hired Sean Payton.
Cut it out.
As a coach, that's like going to train with Goosen or going to train with a world-class trainer, right? And you knew as soon as Sean Payton got there, ain't no one's going to have their own office, and you turn around a couple years later.
Boxing analyst Wade Plemons also shared an interesting take on the Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios matchup. He asked the classic debate, does the coach build the fighter, or does the fighter build the coach? Plemons spoke about Joe Goosen's history as a respected trainer and his skill in developing talent. With Barrios now under Goosen's direction, he wondered if the veteran coach might give Barrios new ideas or adjustments that he did not pick up earlier while working with Bob Santos. At the same time, Plemons talked about Garcia's strong confidence, saying Ryan appears convinced he already knows what Barrios and his team are planning.
Very interesting answer. I always wonder who makes a fighter, right? Especially in boxing, combat sports. Is it a coach that makes the fighter or the fighter that makes the coach? Now, Joe Goosen has a track record of being a high-level boxing coach. We know. But do coaches change for fighters, or do they implement what they know to fighters and fighters change for coaches? Because this will be the crux of what happens here. Can Joe Goosen, not to call Mario Barrios old, but can he teach an old dog new tricks? Can he give him something that Bob Santos hasn't? Sure. Can he give him more info about what Ryan likes to do? Absolutely. But will it be enough to prepare him for what Ryan knows that Joe knows? And how Joe trains fighters, and how Joe runs a camp, and how rigid he might be. And even that last part, Ryan's talking about information leaking maybe from Joe, or that Joe was leaking information about Barrios or about, I'm not sure who he was talking about Ryan, about Barrios, but Ryan again.
He even mentioned Garcia's statements about having inside knowledge regarding Barrios' preparation, although no one can be sure how meaningful that really is. In the end, Plemons said this contest is not just about athletic talent. It also comes down to the partnership between trainer and boxer. Will Goosen be able to introduce fresh tactics to Barrios, or will Garcia's understanding of Goosen's system give him the upper hand? These questions show how experience, planning, and the coach-fighter connection could matter greatly once Garcia and Barrios finally meet in the ring.
Now, the chaos in the corner, or not maybe chaos, but kind of misdirection in the corner of the Manny Pacquiao fight, where Bob Santos is saying one thing and other cornermen are saying, that are, you know, a part of Mario's kind of OG team, are saying another. I think it's pretty well known that I would assume well known that Mario Barrios' dad used to train him, and I don't know if he was in the corner or it was somebody else, but there was a miscommunication, it seemed like, from even the people in the corner around the strategy of the Barrios fight for what they wanted to do against Manny Pacquiao. And let's just say I heard from sources there were a lot of frustrations that came out of that fight with how Barrios went into that fight, how he performed in that fight, and how directions were listened to from either one side or the other. It felt like it was a bit of a confusing thing. So when you have that kind of a situation, you feel like you need to make a move. One person's going to get left out in the dust, and it's probably not someone that's either one.
Ryan Garcia's trainer spoke with strong belief about his fighter's discipline and controlled weight, saying this camp feels nothing like previous ones. According to him, when Ryan is mentally committed, everything else falls into place. A move to the 140-pound division is a very real option. He said Garcia can reach that number comfortably while still keeping his power and stamina.
Our strength and conditioning coach will lock it in, Ryan will lock it in, and we're back to 140. Solid. But that's a strong possibility. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. And we talked about that.
It changes things.
Yeah, and I mean this 100% sincerely, that we could make 140.
Because when you guys fought Haney, you guys were not necessarily you guys, but he was drinking, he was doing all these other things that...
Exactly, yeah, forget about that and forget about the Rolly, because I'm telling you, that was not Ryan. This is Ryan. This is Ryan. You're going to see Ryan. This is going to be Ryan. And you're going to say, man, he looks good. His weight is good. And his strength is unbelievable.
The trainer also admitted that during the Devin Haney camp, Garcia was not completely focused and allowed outside distractions interfere. This time, the approach is tighter and far more professional. He expects fans to see a slimmer body, improved endurance, and dangerous power on the night of fight. The team also pointed out that 147 is close to 140, meaning the drop should be manageable without severe rehydration limits. The overall message was direct. A serious and committed Ryan Garcia has returned, and this version plans to perform at the highest level.
Not too far off from 140. So there's a strong possibility without rehydration cause, we could probably drop down to 140 with no problem.
And make the fight happen at 40 instead.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then you guys can rehydrate whatever you guys want from there.
I mean, you know, listen, this is another thing that I've been seeing, and this is kind of interesting, is that yeah, you got to rehydrate, of course, absolutely. Now, how far you can rehydrate? I would love to be over 7-8 pounds. Some go 10, some go 12, some even go 15, you know, but they do rehydrate. But when you're in shape, in total fitness, I think the most you could hydrate is 7 or 8 pounds. I'm not kidding you. When you're in excellent shape...
Experts warn fans not to judge too much from the short training videos of Ryan Garcia that spread online. A 15-second clip or even a 1-minute highlight cannot show the true level of readiness for a 12-round battle. Those snippets are edited to display speed, power, and clean combinations while hiding the hard part to camp like exhaustion, making weight, and conditioning difficulties. Because of that, what viewers see often tells only part of the story.
10-second, 15-second clips, because Ryan very well could have had similar clips before the Rolly fight, but then he ends up losing to Rolly in New York. So for me, when I see sparring clips or brief edited clips online, I don't necessarily factor that in too much into what is to be the outcome. Because the fact of the matter is, for Mario Barrios, I haven't really seen many clips from him at all. So training footage is very selective by nature. You're usually going to see the best moments plucked out, highlights, specific drills, things that would make someone look good. They don't really tell the full story about conditioning, weight cutting, or readiness. But what it does or can give you is an overall, like a snapshot of where the fighter is mentally, physically. Ryan does look like he's in good shape.